Found myself by Miller's Creek one Sunday afternoon, rod and reel in hand, but heart heavy as a stone, when old Joe walked up with his tackle box and grin. Said, "Son, you look like troubles got you by the chin." He said, "Life's like fishing in these muddy waters here. Sometimes you cast all day and come up dry, but patience and a steady hand will make it clear. The best catch comes when you ain't even trying." Old Joe's wisdom sinking in like stones beneath the skin. "20 years I've been chasing every dollar, every dream. Never stopped to breathe or listen to the stream." Said, "Life's like fishing in these muddy waters here. Sometimes you cast all day and come up dry, but patience and a steady hand will make it clear. The best catch comes when you ain't even trying." Old Joe's wisdom singing like stones beneath the skin. Now I visit Miller's Creek when trouble finds my door. Cast my line and remember what that old man taught me for. Some lessons come from strangers in the quiet of the day, when you're ready to receive what they have to say. Life's like fishing in these muddy waters here. Sometimes you cast all day and come up dry, but patience and a steady hand will make it clear. Best catch comes when you ain't even tried. Old Joe's wisdom singing like peace beneath the skin.
Met him by the truck stop. Coffee cold, rain won't stop. Said, "Son, you look lost. Tell me what it cost down this road, down this road. 30 years hauling freight. Sing boys, can't wait. Rushing through every mile, missing worth your while. Down this road, down this road." He said, "Boy, listen close. What you need ain't coast to coast. It's the folks that you meet, small town, bittersweet, down this road, down this this road. Don't chase what ain't there. Stop and breathe the evening air. Wisdom comes when you're still. Heart knows what mind can't feel. Down this road, down this road. Now I drive different speed. Pay attention, what I need. That old man taught me right. Something's worth the fight. Down this road, down this road, down this road. Stop for gas, small town square. Old man sat there, rocking chair. Said, boy, come here, got time to spare. He said, life's a river, don't fight the flow. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. What you're chasing might let you go if you just let it go. Worked these fields 60 years, seen good times, seen the tears. Young folks come, young folks go. He said, life's a river, don't fight the flow. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. What you're chasing might let you go if you just let it go. Hands like leather, eyes like stone. Lived a life mostly alone, but he smiled when he spoke. Paid my bill, walked away. Still hear him to this day when I'm lost in the rush. He said, life's a river, don't fight the flow. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. What you're chasing might let you go if you just let it go. Life's a river, don't fight the flow. Life's a river, just let it go.
down on Highway 9, smoke pouring from the hood. Found myself walking down the gravel road like I should. Small shop with rusty tools, fire burning hot inside. Old man with weathered hands asked me to step inside. He said, son, I've been hammering steel for 60 years and more. When the metal gets too stubborn, don't beat it to the floor. Heat it slow, let it bend, work with what you got. Sometimes the hardest iron just needs a gentler touch. And I stood there learning from a man who knew life ain't about the forcing, but the patience to see through. My truck was overheated, the engine seized up tight. He said, I've seen this problem more times than I can count right. Sit down and have some tea, let her cool down slow. Sometimes when things break down, that's just the way they go. He said, son, I've been hammering steel for 60 years or more. When the metal gets too stubborn, don't beat it to the floor. Heat it slow, let it bend, work with what you got. Sometimes the hardest iron just needs a gentle touch. Watched him shape that red-hot metal into something strong and new. Never rushed, never forced it, just knew what he had to do. Fixed my truck by evening, wouldn't take a dime. Said the lesson that I gave you is payment for my time. Drove off with more than ink and parts, working right again. Sometimes the thing that breaks you down shows you how to mend. He said, son, I've been hammering steel for 60 years or more. When the metal gets too stubborn, don't beat it to the floor. Beat it slow, let it bend, work with what you got. Sometimes the hardest iron just needs a gentler touch. And I still hear him saying, when life gets hard to bear, sometimes the answer's waiting and taking time to care. Beat it slow, let it bend, work with what you got. Sometimes this stubborn heart of mine just needs a gentler touch. I was broke down on the interstate, radiator steaming mad, when this old trucker pulled up beside me, said, son, you look pretty bad. He had 20 years of highway dust and wisdom in his eyes. Started talking while he fixed my truck under those Georgia skies. He said, boy, you can't outrun yourself no matter how fast you drive. Some roads are meant to slow you down, so you remember you're alive. Keep your eyes upon the road ahead, but don't forget to pray, 'cause the journey's just as important as where you can go and today. Sometimes you gotta break down, find your way. He told me about the miles he covered from Seattle to Mobile. Said I've hauled everything under the sun, but nothing like how I feel when I see my wife and children after weeks out on the road.
That's when you know what matters most. That's your heaviest load. He said, boy, you can't outrun yourself no matter how fast you drive. Some loads are meant to slow you down so you remember you're alive. Keep your eyes upon the road ahead, but don't forget to pray, 'cause the journey's just as important as where you're going today. Hey, ooh. That old man knew what he said. Sometimes you gotta break down to find your way. My engine's running fine now, but I still hear what he said about caring what really matters, not just what's in your head. Now when I'm feeling restless and I wanna run away, I think about that trucker and what he had to say. Life ain't about the destinations, the people that you meet. Like an angel in a Peterbilt on a hot summer street. He said, boy, you can't outrun yourself no matter how fast you drive. Some loads are meant to slow you down so you remember you're alive. Keep your eyes upon the road ahead, but don't forget to pray, 'cause the journey's just as important as where you're going today. Sometimes you gotta break down to find your way. Sometimes you gotta break down to find your way. Truck broke down, mile marker 9. Old man walking down that line, worn out boots, but steady stride. Asked if I needed a ride. Name was Earl, worked the rails. 40 years of steel and nails. Said he'd seen boys like me all broke down by 23. What you gonna do when the engine quits? What you gonna do when nothing fits? Can't force a bone that's stripped clean through. Boy, what you gonna do? Pulled a wrench from his coat, said some things just won't flow. When it seized, you let it sit. All in time will free what's split. Showed me how to work the rust. Said impatience breaks your trust. Gentle hands and steady mind fix more things than force will find. What you gonna do when the engine quits? What you gonna do when nothing fits? Can't force a bow that's stripped clean through. Boy, what you gonna do? Oh, sometimes you wait. Oh, sometimes you bend. Oh, good mechanics know
when to let time in. The engine turned on the third try. Earl just smiled and said goodbye. Left me there with grease-stained hands and the wisdom of a working man. What you gonna do when the engine quits? What you gonna do when nothing fits? Enforceable that strip clean through. Now I know what to do. Oh, now I know what to do. Pulled off at that truck stop, rain coming down. Old man sitting there, weathered and brown. Said, son, you look tired. I said, yeah, I've been driving all night. He just smiled and said, pull up the chair, let's talk a while. Old timers' words come through the noise I'd heard. Sometimes wisdom comes your way when you least expect it anyway. Old timers' words still echo in my head. Been hauling freight, he said, 40 years or more. Seen boys like you come and go through that diner door. Life ain't about the miles you make, it's who you meet along the road. The load you carry matters less than how you bear that load. Old timers' words driven through the noise I'd heard. Sometimes wisdom comes your way, you least expect it anyway. Old timers' words still echo in my head. When the highway gets too long and I'm feeling worn and thin, hear that trucker's voice again, like an old familiar friend. Well, he finished up his coffee, stood and tipped his hat. So take care now, young driver, and remember what we talked about. Rain had stopped falling, the sun was breaking through, left me sitting there wondering how he knew just what I needed to hear. Old timers' words running through the noise I heard. Sometimes wisdom comes your way when you least expect it anyway. Old timers' words still echo in my head. Old timers' words cutting through the noise I heard. Sometimes wisdom comes your way when you least expect it anyway. Old timers' words still echo in my head. Old timers' words.